coming up on At Your Leisure.
Hey there, fans. First up, Skylar Dykstra is taking us out to the Vermal Rock Rally. You'll get some insights and some views that off-roaders see at this event. Then, Katy Yardley is taking us back to outdoor kitchen time to show us another delicious recipe that's perfect for your next adventure. Finally, Will Oxley is taking us down the river for an adventure back in time as he shows off how the folks of the Old West lived and traversed the waters.
Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Skylar Dykstra. I'm standing up here at 10,000 feet elevation. We're on top of Anderson Creek at Vermal Rock Rally, and we're having the best time ever.
It actually started with a jeeping group, local jeeping group that wanted to start bringing people in and seeing what we have. And just within a year or two, it grew so big that they couldn't handle it as just a local group. So the county stepped in and said, hey, we'll run it under our umbrella.
Yeah, having a good time. I love jeeping. Like, had a buddy tell me about this rally. He comes every year, and we got out. We didn't sign up for this trail. He kind of strong-armed me into it, and here we are. This is why I bought a Jeep, though. I think the trail's a little challenging for a Jeep this size, but I think it's been awesome.
We are running Anderson Creek. It is one of the trails that the rally offers that takes you up into the higher elevations, gets you into the cooler weather. Definitely one of the benefits of having a 4x4 is seeing views like this. There is nothing better than coming down a trail, coming around the corner, and it opening up to a beautiful canyon like this.
If it's somebody that hasn't ever been off-roading or something, the best thing is throw them in and say, let's go and have some fun. I mean, they are amazed. I had a couple kids in with me today that just, you're gonna go up that? You know, and, I mean, they're just eyes about that big, and that's the reaction. We've taken people that have absolutely no off-roading experience, and they love it. By the end of the day, they're shopping Jeeps.
Big part of today is just being out in nature, beautiful views with family, having fun.
It really is eye-opening that you can go out and have fun and be responsible and enjoy nature in a different way than most people do.
What an amazing day we're having on Anderson Creek today at Vermal Rock Rally. As you can see, we've made it up to the smelter. We're gonna continue up to the top of the tree line. So as we do that, why don't you go check out our first story.
Hey, honey.
Hey. Hey, what?
Do you know what today is?
What?
Happy anniversary.
Whoa. I thought that was in a few months.
Since it's our 5-year AYL anniversary, we are cooking one of Mark's favorite dishes that he actually grew up eating. So let's get started today on Grandma Yardley's sausage noodle casserole. Put your sausage in your pan, and then you want to brown this up really, really well. You want to make sure when you get your sausage brown that it's thoroughly cooked. And then also, unlike some recipes, these don't have to be in the tiniest of chunks because it's really nice when you're eating the casserole to kind of get a bigger bite of the sausage. Okay, so once your sausage is completely cooked, take your bag of frozen peas, dump. Take your cream of mushroom soup, dump. This being his favorite recipe, it's hard for me to make it by myself because he always likes to jump in with more than just the cheese this time. All right, so mix that up. All right, honey, you want to grab those noodles while I add the cheese? I don't trust him with it. Okay, so while he's getting the noodles, I'll add some salt and pepper. You don't need as much salt in this dish because the sausage flavoring is good, but you definitely want to make sure you get enough pepper. All right, so once we get these, put those in. And I like to get everything in first before I add the milk because that way I can actually gauge the consistency of it first. Yeah, it's definitely gonna need a little bit. Not too much, but it's definitely gonna need a little bit of milk. So we'll do about half of this. There we go. So you can do what I do, just start off adding milk. You don't have to add it all at once. Start off adding milk and then see what the consistency looks like. All right, we are ready for your cheese. Should we add it all or should we save some for the top?
I think you ought to do 50-50, yellow and white, just
See,
so.
this is another fun thing about cooking. Every time you make it, you can try something different. This time we're gonna do about that much of the white, and he wants a little bit of the cheddar inside. So you know what, why not?
Looks like we got a plenty of cheese.
All right, it's probably enough cheese for the whole dish, but
I'd
you know
hate
what,
to
this
see
is
us
just what's
ever
going
run
in
out.
it. Oh, if we ever ran out of cheese, it would be a sad day in this house. So now we have finished mixing it up and I've kind of smoothed it out. We're gonna sprinkle the top with more cheese. You can never have enough cheese, right, honey?
Nope.
But we are ready to put it in the barbecue to actually bake this. So let's go and get it in.
I just said,
All right, 30 minutes and we will be chowing down.
sounds good.
All right, will you open that so I can check it? Woo, that looks fabulous.
Wonderful.
Even on the grill. All right, let's
We
let's
good?
yeah, let's take it and go eat. Yay! We are all finished. Oh wow! Make sure I get plenty of cheese on his.
Perfect.
This actually might have more cheese than what I usually put in it, but you know the things you do for your anniversaries, right? Oh wow! Look at that. You know, it did come out of the grill, 350 degrees, outdoor grill. Most people don't realize you can use them just like an oven. All right,
Okay.
anniversary bite. Cheers. Hot.
That sharp cheese really gives it a flavor.
Wow. This just is the most delicious meal ever and so quick, so easy. You can do it in your kitchen, you can do it while camping, you can do it out in the backyard. Just have fun with it, make it yours, and we'll be right back with more at your leisure.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are at the Vermal Rock Rally. How about we go take a look at some of these vehicles that are with us today?
So my Jeep's a 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee, or XJ as they call them. Since I've had it, I've put the roll cage in it. It's a hybrid roll cage. It has dual transfer cases. I've got JK Rubicon Dana 44 axles.
So my husband's family always gets on Marco Polo and is always talking about whatever random thing's going on. And one day one got on and goes, guess what I can do in my minivan? I can put an entire 4x8 sheet of plywood. Well, I can pack all of this and I can pack all of that. Well, we had just barely bought our Jeep. And he's like, we should name it minivan and then we can brag about what our minivan can do.
My Jeep is a 2018 Rubicon Recon Edition. I've had it for about 2 years and after this year, when I come back next year, I'm gonna have a lift and some bigger tires on it.
The Dirty Desert Fox is a 2000 Jeep Cherokee. It has the inline six in it. I'm sitting on 35-inch tires. It came pretty much with nothing, so I had to add everything to it and build it as I've gone. Two-tone paint job on it, which I designed myself. And it's not paint though, it's actually Raptor liner, which makes it so I don't get any brush scratches. Gone to battle with many trees on the trail, and I have to say the Raptor liner has won every time.
My rig is a 1998 Jeep Cherokee. His name is Bart. His name used to be Black Bart, but I rolled him 3 years ago. And I call him him because he is a him. And I talk about him and he has a personality. So I rolled him 3 years ago and I spent 2 years putting him back together. I built presses out of a bottle jack and pipes and pressed him all back together. And the ceiling is a map of Moab. I saw it on Facebook. I thought it was a great idea. And I found a company on Amazon that if you send them a picture, they'll print it on fabric for you. And so I found a topographical map of the Moab area and sent them this picture, and lo and behold, they sent me back this fabric, and we redid this headliner with that fabric. When I rolled him, I learned my lesson. I slowed down a lot. I paid attention more to, the ground and my surroundings, and I'm not in as big a hurry, and I'm not as anxious to try to get over things. I finished him in like May, and by July is when I rolled him the first time, when I first had him. And I was just, I had to prove how cool and bad he was, and I messed up. So since I've rebuilt him, I'm not as anxious to try to get over that hill that guy in the buggy just got over, or that guy with the 40-inch tires and the 1-ton axles on. I just, I get over what I can and have a good time with it. I get where I get whenever I get there.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are here at Vermal Rock Rally. We are having the best time on trail today, but let's go talk to some of the participants that are here today.
Oh, I love off-roading. I mean, I grew up, dirt bikes, four-wheelers. So yeah, off-roading is just a passion.
So I think anyone that gets calm from an adrenaline rush is an adrenaline junkie, which I would say I am myself. Yeah, it's definitely finding that limit of terror and being in control. And the more you do, the more comfortable you are in the rock, and then you kind of have to push yourself harder and do scarier things, and then you get comfortable with that, and you have to keep going.
Not going out alone, going in a group. This right here is why. We got a flat tire on trail, in a mud hole. If he would have been by himself, he had no lug wrench. He wouldn't have been able to get out of here. The bead had broken off the rim. But since we're in a group, there was someone else that had a lug wrench. We got his tire off, got the spare back on. Now you can air the spare down and we continue down the trail.
I'm good now, ready to go. Yep, just part of the adventure, so.
Being a good steward of the land, it means staying on the trail, following the rules. You come to a gate, leave it how you found it. The gate's open. You leave it open, the gate's closed, you leave it closed. You never know if the landowner has his cattle out on the property or his sheep. And if you leave that gate open when it's supposed to be closed, now all of his cattle got out. Abide by any posted sign by BLM. If it says no trespassing, you don't trespass.
It gives you a sense of ownership to actually be up there to go see that. And so along with that sense of ownership, you don't want to tear it up. And you don't want to see people tear it up. The people that are in the off-road community feel like this is their land. And they don't want to see anybody damaging it any more than anybody that just hikes. So they're protective about it. Just because there's a road up there doesn't ruin the scenery. It doesn't, but they don't like to see people leaving trash and everything. So the attitude of protecting the land and conserving the scenery and conserving the land is the same between the different groups, motorized or non-motorized. Getting people up in there, especially people that normally can't hike up in there, You know, more eyes means more protection.
These people are awesome that are here today. Now go check out this next story.
In 1824, legendary fur trapper and mountain man Jim Bridger stumbled across the Great Salt Lake. He is credited as the first white man to glimpse its vast beauty. In honor of the 200th anniversary of this milestone, members of the American Mountain Men are retracing his path down the Bear River, using only the technology and tools available to Jim Bridger 200 years ago.
So we're a group of beaver trappers that belong to an organization called the American Mountain Men. And we're a national organization that's pretty renowned for doing serious reenactment or survival using the skills of the original fur trapping mountain men who were here in the 1820s to 1840s in the Rocky Mountain West. It's a national group. There's about 700 active members and a few foreign members also. And we like to go out and just try to live life and experience as much as we can what life was like for the original beaver trappers that became known as mountain men.
What we're doing is it's 200 years, 1824 to 2024, that Jim Bridger made that, and we couldn't let it pass. We're all busy, but we just had to celebrate it in our own inimitable way. What we do know is that he made it to the Great Salt Lake, tasted the water, salty, looked out there at the vast ocean, inland ocean, and his only conclusion with the education he had or anybody else understanding of this territory that was an arm of the Pacific Ocean. Well, within a year or two, the rest of the trappers had circumnavigated the lake and came back and said, nice try, but that's not the Pacific. It's a great big inland salt body of water.
We all love camping, so hey, we get to go out and camp, but it's the challenge of doing it in this old-fashioned style. Sometimes you call it primitive style. Trying to use the implements, the clothing, the types of food that they had, 200 years ago now. And it makes it a little bit more challenging, and with that challenge comes a reward of being able to go out and do that successfully.
Not one of these guys couldn't go out there for a week, 20 days with just what they're wearing right now. Not even carrying the stuff we're doing to make our camp easier. The saying is, the more you carry here, the less you have to carry here. All the pharmaceuticals I need to stay healthy, I can see within sight of here. What do you do for your medicines? Do you pay for it or go to a pharmacist or ask a doctor? I don't need to do that. Neither did our ancestors. Neither did the wonderful people that taught us, our Native American brothers and sisters. They lived here for thousands of years without the benefit of modern medicine.
The last couple of days we've been doing this canoe trip, and that's a little bit different than if we did it on horseback or if we did it on our own back. So today we probably brought more stuff than we typically would bring if you were out carrying it around.
That's kind of the thing. How did our ancestors live and survive and thrive, as a matter of fact? That's what this is all about. We're out sharing our companionship and our knowledge.
The fraternal nature of the American Mountain Men celebrates passing along skills and knowledge to fellow members. Adventures like these are dynamic, living classrooms.
A long time ago, when Indians met, they could not understand each other's talk, So they had to use hand talk to communicate. All of the skills and all of the arts are fun too. I mean, I learned things that, the tanning and other skills that I never would have guessed I would have got involved in. Blacksmithing, gun building, knife building, all kinds of different skills. And those are all interesting in of themselves. A lot of learning, a lot of education.
The mountain man's spirit of exploration and adventure lives on in modern travelers. The important thing is to get out, enjoy, and learn about the natural world, whether you embrace ancient methods or if you're someone who uses the latest technology.
Well, that's wonderful. Good on them. That's their thing. I call what they do glamping. They call what I do minimalist. It's just that I can do everything they can do and have just as much fun in a minimalist way. I'll be 81 before snow flies again. There's probably not an awful lot of 81-year-olds that are out doing this stuff. But the way I see it is, if I don't do it while I can do it, When I can't do it and want to do it, I'll have regrets. Now I do it. I have a wonderful time with these people. So I've got to take advantage while my body will do it and my friends will still tolerate me.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I can't tell you just how amazing this event is. Vermal Rock Rally is just incredible. You really need to get out here and experience it yourself. But until then, why don't you go check out what we have planned for next week's show.
Hey, thanks, Skylar. Next week, Kurt Miles and Jake Anderson are taking the helm at the Moab Red Rock Rally, which is the best time to bring your side-by-side down to the Moab area and get to experience the greatest trails in the world. Then Reese Stein finds himself back in the water as he's headed out to a little reservoir that's got some really big fish. Finally, we're getting a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as we get to be a part of luxury at top speeds at the Porsche Racing Series at the UMC. Now, let's take a look at our calendar of events. First up, July 9th and 10th is the Summer Ride for Manti Mountain ATV Run, which is a great way to get out and experience the European trail system. It's lovely up there. Be sure to visit mantiatvRun.com for more information. Then, August 13th through the 17th is the Bryce Panguitch ATV Rally, another great way to bring your machine out into the middle of Utah and experience some amazing scenery on some of the most diverse trails. It's riding Bryce Canyon style. Visit BryceCanyonCountry.com for more information. And don't forget to visit our events page at AYLTV.com to stay up to date on all the great jamborees and off-road events that will be happening throughout the year.
What an incredible day today at Vermal Rock Rally. We have such an amazing group of people here today. Thank you. We had awesome sponsors in the back, Easy Plate. They did an awesome job today. So today we did Anderson Creek. It was amazing. We had some beautiful views on the way up, little bit of rock crawling, some stream crossings. It was great today. But there's one thing you guys need to remember. There's adventure around every bend. All you gotta do is get out and find it at your leisure.